I'm making a video on Mario Odyssey, so I'm legally obligated to start by stating how amazing it is. I love the concept, and the incredibly minty board designs are one of the most memorable parts of the games to me, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna make some of my own. So here's the deal, I'll suppose like I'm making Mario Odyssey 2 and create a bunch of kingdoms for it, even if it's more about making the kingdoms than making a sequel. I'm not an artist, so the art isn't going to be as good as the art you'll see in other videos like this, but I'll try my hardest just because it sounds fun. For each kingdom, I'll propose a theme, a name, some art, a unique capture idea, a citizen NPC, an outfit, and finally, a boss, among other things if inspiration strikes. Before I thought about making these kingdoms, I settled for a small plot regarding Bowser Jr. to sort of guide my story along. It just seems strange to me that Bowser wouldn't invite his son to his wedding, and I totally wanted to see Jr. being cute in a wedding suit. My guess is they couldn't fit him in the story, so for this one, Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings are part of the focus. My idea is something along the lines of Bowser Jr. plans the perfect date for Bowser and Peach. So it would follow similar story beats to Odyssey, with Bowser stealing different things from all over the world to make a wonderful event, except I'd probably make Junior's execution be completely sloppy. Like, while Bowser would sort of sneak in and take the things sneakily and you'd only see like a bit of the aftermath, Bowser Jr. needs to make a hole in the kingdom and suit several chases and destroy 30% of the housing district. So now I imagine the game would start after Bowser captures Mario so he can easily take Peach, leading to the starting kingdom of the game being Bowser's State. Though I'm divided between calling it Bowser's Palace and just World 8. Sure, Bowser's thing has a few official names like Bowser Path in the Mario and Luigi games, but I think the World 8 joke is genuinely somewhat funny. Alternatively, Koopa Kingdom could also work. That said, this kingdom is primarily the inside of the castle in concept. This small kingdom depicting Bowser's castle and some outskirts is a dungeon first and quite a large set of rooms for different troops living and patrolling the castle. Most of it should be a look at Bowser's private life, including his and Junior's room. It has a particularly large kitchen and a chest room filled with locked treasures. This room is patrolled by special enemies, so you might end up being part of a heist for several missions. Several rooms have different experiments that Bowser has done about gravity, which would mean some of the zones will have shifting gravity and other floating elements. Notice that these rooms and the general castle have a little bit of a rock and roll night motif. The last major area in this kingdom would be the underground beneath the lava, and it is only accessible as captors that can handle the lava heat. It's hard to see here, so Mario's going to need to be careful, but funny enough, this would sort of work as a partial water level because of it, huh? Yes, I am aware the image looks like Bowser's taking a big dump. My idea for the capture? Good old Spike. He controls spiky bolts and other traps. They can be used to activate different switches, such as this anti-gravity wall switch that I mapped out here. For an outfit, a Bowser cosplay-ish thing. The Bowser outfit in the original Odyssey was a little too specific with him on his wedding suit, so I chose to make something a little bit more mundane that looks more like Bowser-themed merch for people instead.
What is that?
For citizens, I decided for Shy Guys and Koopas. Well, for starters you can't capture citizens, so I decided to make these guys because they seem like the smarter people that would live in Bowser's castle, and most often you'd see them moving about doing some job or other. For a boss, Miss Gate Koopa, name pending. It's a gatekeeping, hot sauce themed Koopa. I made her to take design cues from Bowser and, Bowsette, which I know is silly. She's also somewhat chubby. Both of these decisions aren't made to appeal to anyone's, preferences. Rather, I wanted to create a character that Nintendo could add to Mario Kart because there are no heavyweight women in any Mario Kart that have a princess vibe. In fact, this is the reason why Pink Gold Peach and Queen Bee are in Mario Kart, because Mario has literally no heavyweight important ladies in the mainland game. Though I guess Harriet from Mario Odyssey could work given her head is made of pure flippin' metal in the modern days. Anyways, this Gate Cooper has a jetpack cause that probably makes designing her attacks easier. I understand most of this kingdom would probably be a little bit tutorial-y at first, but after you revisit the kingdom once you beat in the game, it should definitely be less tutorials and more playing with the anti-gravity mechanics and stuff. Leaving this kingdom during an escape sequence and later coming back, Mario will leave using a motorboat that works similarly to the Odyssey so he can get around. I'd imagine the scene with Bowser's castle crumbling, sort of, as Mario hops on the boat and parts to the next nearest port with the title showing up. Kinda like they did it in Hat Kingdom, you know, this is Hat Kingdom 2. The first kingdom Mario will arrive at will be called Cotton Swap. This location is heavily inspired by farms, nature, and Ireland, presenting more than one cobblestone tower. Imagine this kingdom as a tiny Breath of the Wild, where Mario will climb these towers to fast travel between them. This kingdom has several plateaus divided by rivers that all flow out towards the sea. There are several plateaus with different farms, animals, and harvesting, including a large automated watering system, which Mario will clean up and fix after Bowser Jr.'s devastation to obtain food supplies for his ultimate date. The themes of cotton and potato stew are also very important. I'm really craving some potato stew right now. With several large hot pots cooking big portions of stew, which Mario might be able to light up with the help of Fire Bros. For a capture, a cotton plant, which can be twirled around to spread petals, which can move Mario and make NPCs sneeze. This works as a way of fast travel, or as a way to affect the activities of NPCs. Outfit, an uptight overall. This farmer-style outfit works well with Mario as it jives with his design cues. The pouches of wheat at his waist give him the appearance of a working man, and you might be able to spot him chewing on a bit of wheat. For the citizens, I went with Sweebians, which are a little bit like the Bulbobans from Luncheon, just more based on cotton and stuff. I sorta like their hat. For a boss, you'll encounter the first of the many Koopas you'll be fighting. Inside the larger stew, you will find the dreadfully terrifying Larry Koopa. Well, as dreadfully terrifying as the sanest one of these Koopalings can be. He'll be very orthodox about his attacks, getting on his shell and swirling as well as launching radial projectiles from his wand. Be particularly careful of his pound move, which will make holes in the arena where Mario can fall. Once Mario obtains enough power moons, he'll sail a wall to a new coast. The next kingdom, on the NAS, extends a large parallel wall with holes in it, being a sort of split mountain. This exists in real life, by the way. It's in China and it's called Guyaju. I noticed all of the kingdoms in Odyssey have clear skies for the most part, so I wanted to change that with a cool cave system kingdom that's 95% underground. This town has tons of pathways and can probably feel mazy for some people. You can even say it's a hazy cave because of this. This area has several watery pathways of pineapple juice, which have been emptied by Bowser Jr. plugging up the waterway as he was taking large quantities of juice for Bowser on Peach's date. You can even see the large containers he used floating at sea outside the kingdom. This place also has a small bunker where the citizens live together. It's cozy and they work hard, but they seem to be enjoying themselves. For a captor, the Squeezer, an orange squeezer that can squeeze enemies, rocks, walls, and fruit as well as work as a drill. Mario should use it to carve a hole in a large pineapple to restore the water flow through on the NAS, and allowing the miners to continue mining without carrying large quantities of water as well. For an outfit, the miner suit. It's self-explanatory. Mario carries a pickaxe on his back and a cap with a light that he could use to see in a darkness team sub area, for example. You mentioned the pineapple juice glowing though, so this place would probably be devoid of pineapple juice. For citizens, I came up with the Donations, which are people with shovel hands and cool looking face masks. They take great care of their claw hands so they could continue working safely, which would mean probably this kingdom should have a few nail parlors somewhere to, word build and stuff. The boss will be Morton Koopa with some big hands. Deepest down in the cave, a small waterway leads to the dry pond of juice that is being built up as the miners continue their work below. Many of which will be worried about the reducing quantity of juice that the cave will be supplied with. That is, until Morton shows up to stop Mario. Morton will carry two large hands that he can somewhat command. He'll shoot the radial projectiles and occasionally jump to stop Mario. Ironically, Morton can jump and make shockwaves way easier than the hands because my dude just has that potential. Either way, Mario must position himself and Morton in the middle of both hands before they clap down to sandwich Mario, dodging in the last second to hurt Morton. This fight will end with Morton making a new hole towards a new underground river with coconut juice before fleeing, allowing the miners to relax in the safety of their cave and future, now that enough water can be found and it's piña colada. The next area is a pyramid-shaped water park that I named Arkland, with tons of slides and quite a long climb to the top. This kingdom will certainly test Mario's ability to slide around. Several water spouts will have Mario reach higher areas quicker if he captures them, and you can slide from the very tippy top of the park to the bottom by going on the attractions. It's supposed to feel like Bowser's Kingdom in the last game, but without the wires, and finding different ways to climb the pyramid should always be somewhat rewarding. On that note, this area has ice cream theming, because water parks are always so damn cold. The kingdom storyline would probably revolve around the shortcuts being blocked, making it hard for both the citizens and Mario to climb the park for the first time, so that's what you'll do and you'll figure it out. For a capture, I created the blockade. You ever played Pushmo? Well, it's a little bit like that. The puzzles shouldn't be too big though. Mario should be directly in front of them and on the ground so he could interact with these, which means Mario should build a structure that he can later use to climb. For an outfit, you wanna talk about breaking barriers? Huh? Well then here's Banana Hammock Mario! Just kidding. Dolphin costume, inspired by the typical Mario dolphins. The swimsuit sort of already broke all the barriers Mario can break without going up an 8 rating, so... The citizens here are the Arkians, which are these worm-like people with towered capes and headbands. They're sorta cute and there's many variations of them. The boss here will be Wendy Koopa. She's inside the city trying to make it into her own glittering paradise after messing up the park to stop Bowser Jr. from wasting time by playing instead of planning the date. She uses beauty products in her attacks, like making the arena slippery with creams and drawing damaging lines with her magic lipstick. She'll fill the arena with water for her third phase. Yes, I didn't really come up with art for this, Wendy already has a hat, so there isn't much for me to do. Restoring transit to the city, Cappy and Mario leave for the next kingdom. The next area Mario will visit is called Team Poly, which is sort of the opposite side of the new Donkey Kong. Instead of a large metropolis run by Pauline, it's a large jungle system run by Cranky Kong. The name Team Poly is a pun between Timpani and Pauline, by the way. This big level is filled with analog machines that have been wrecked by Bowser Jr. on his quest to take this kingdom's instruments and musicians for the date. Mario will need to fix several of these to restore functionality to the place. He'll arrive on a dark rainy night where he'll make his way through the dark jungle, arriving at a small settlement with a busted light system, which he'll need to restore by beating up the area boss. Some of these houses are all linked up with wires that hold buckets, which are this kingdom's capture. Using these, Mario can climb up the jungle to DK's home and convince him to help morale around the kingdom. The instruments should probably be the Tiki guys from DK Country Returns. I like these guys, that's underrated. So the buckets can slide between the houses, they can carry things around them too. Someone may need water, so Mario might need to regulate his speed to get some of the moves. Other platforms are only accessible with this capture. You'll probably have to carry some golden bananas like this up to DK. For an outfit, I went with the tribal outfit. I like the tribal outfit idea, but it can lead to some weird stereotypes being used that could upset some people. In case you can't do this outfit, maybe a Funky Kong outfit could work. The citizens are monkey men, which are different types of donkeys and ditties, all DK inspired. They should mostly just wear shirts with different patterns, and yeah, I sorta stole these guys from the Kong oldies that weren't in use in Mario Strikers. The boss will be Iggy and a stilt cart, which is a minecart with eyes and on stilts. I know. Mario will need to find his way to capture the minecart and ram Iggy into the trees, which will make him fall down and allow Mario to stumble him. The challenge is avoiding all of Iggy's attacks and projectiles as you climb up the buildings using the buckets and wires. Players can also use the returning up routes instead. Or they might prefer to climb the trees, if they can avoid all of Iggy's attacks. Once defeated, the minecart can go back to its job, transferring electricity to the surrounding homes. With the town back in good spirits and after catching up with TK, Mario finally leads to the next zone, which is a major city this time around. That is, until another ship begins to approach Mario's. Wait, that's not another ship, that's Mario's ship! An arena, it's a palindrome of arena. This is a small kingdom dedicated to a unique boss fight with some crazier mechanics. Mario will probably crash into the side to discover an island bordered entirely by mirrors. Though, it's actually like a can and has a little beach inside. This area has a stone beach near an edge, which is less reflective but still made of fish tank pebbles. There's dividend small cups with sub-areas and crystals that are a common decoration. The lack of geometry should allow some pretty cool reflections to be executed by the Switch, as Mario should be mirrored directly below as well as anything else such as the puzzles, the bosses and whatever. The capture, a trampoline for a laser puzzle but with a paintball launcher instead. Some puzzles are single colors, other puzzles require 2 balls, and even some more require the balls to collide so they can paint a different color, which is really gay. The outfit is a mirror suit, polygon-like metallic suit. Honestly, I just looked up mirror suit and this is about the best way to describe it. The boss in this area would be Loon the Painter, a dual-winding lanky painter that is really long. He creates platforms that he can paint over with his 2 brushes and move around them like it's Splatoon, trapping Mario in different small stages, and Mario can use the capture to bounce back his paint into damaging projectiles. He'll summon a lot of paintable surfaces from the ground, so Mario must be alert. This guy is Ludwig von Koopa's apprentice. After the game, he'll probably be disappointed over Ludwig's focus on Bowser and battle when Loon just really wanted to learn the arts, so he might help Mario a bit instead in the post-game. That is, if you can't paint something good enough for his standards. What if they made paint sherms, or are we done with sherms? Honestly, this probably would be the hardest kingdom to actually pull off programmatically, but I think it would be a really fun and cool kingdom because of all the paint and reflections and stuff mechanics. It's just stuff that I haven't seen in Mario, and Mario really should do it. Anyways, Mario's boat doesn't really have issues reaching the next 2 towns. Unlike last time with Lost Kingdom, he can pick between a monument town and a material town. First off, let's look at the material town. Big Aluan is an extremely pretty bell town that may look like a desert, but it's actually standing in the middle of a powdered cement plain. The buildings are made of that very same cement. Each segment of this town divided by colors is in a fight over the superior color, and now Mario must play all 4 municipal bells to bring back harmony to this locale with the swing sound of the bells. Once he does that, the municipal area will open up for a public event, where the difference will be solved through sport! Of course, Mario is rooting for red and will participate. Can he take home the gold medal, which is a power moon because otherwise the player wouldn't care? Yes, you did see that one drawing with the water tower that has a dent on it on the location that is completely and easily based on El Cairo. You put the points together. The capture is a cat puree bag, which can be used to lure cats around town to different spots for moons. I made these to put cats in the game, like the original Mario Odyssey had dogs and I wanted cats in this new game because cats are cooler than dogs to me. The outfit for this kingdom I call Tutankhario. It's a royal looking outfit that calls back to old Egyptian royalty clothing. That's a mouthful to say. Mario has a Nemes on his head and an outfit that is totally not taken from Prince of Egypt at all. Alternatively, go and shirt as my orc too, since you could see Mario's nipples again. How nice. Finally, a citizen that isn't Ian or something. The Albik Aluyun are these cement maker-like things, which Mario might be able to use while capturing to spin them around and hurl himself. The boss will be Roy Koopa on a car. I'm just gonna leave it there, but I imagine something like the Bowser boss from Purity World. I just want to see Roy Koopa on a car. Roy deserves a car. The monument town instead is called Babington. The clock tower in the middle being a really great centerpiece, but the marvelous part about the city is its inventive yet strange design. Although it might look like London, this town is split into 4 rings, 2 of which will move, ultimately giving this town the look of a clock. Mario can alter the time to get these rings to spin faster or slower in order to complete puzzles and set up different layouts. On the ground level, it looks like old-timey London, with mostly a red and black color palette and brick roads that tie everything together. Humans will live here. At first, the town will be stopped because Bowser Jr. wrecked the inner clock towers, which might look a little familiar to clock, in order to steal the tiny monuments recreated in this city. Once the tower is fixed after the game, many more moons will become accessible. Did I mention Mario can stand on the clock hands that protrude from the clock tower? It sounds like a cool visual for a Mario setting to me. The captor are these colloids, these funny little guys that help Mario speed up, slow down, or change the town's time depending on its type. Note that by changing the time, it's not actually changing the time of day, it's just changing the speed and way this town works. The costume for this kingdom would be an extremely threatening Royal Guard suit. Look at them. They inspire fear in their enemies. And the citizens will again be humans. The guys from New Donk already have pretty good outfits for the men, but the lady should probably lose the skirt, as I feel it doesn't fit as well with London. In charge of slowing Mario down here is Ludwig von Koopa as the boss on a large piano. This will be a bunch of Simon Says, enemy fights, and changing tides while Mario buys his time for the perfect moment to strike, when Ludwig allows him to get close enough. Once defeated, his piano explodes, allowing the flow of time to continue in town. Well, you know what I mean, not actually changing, like I have to stress, time isn't actually changing, it's just time relative to the town, time is like normal, the sky's the same color all day. Once Mario manages to beat those 2 towns, he's going to gain access to the next town, which, you know, Japanese locations are nice, but what about China or Korea locations? Basically, I grabbed these hipstery vaporwave pictures of maybe China, and I combined them with a concept that I made way back in 2014 for the Minecraft map I lost, but you could still find in the channel, where a level happened inside a computer. Shumaji Sen. This level will probably start on a dark tunnel, representing a power cable, as Mario arrives to the different colonies in this kingdom, all of which are different depictions of inside of devices. Mario will need to link energy between the areas and hop onto the next zone using different cables. I do wonder if the Switch could be able to handle some of the crazy lighting in this zone. None of the kingdoms in Odyssey really allow Mario to be affected by color lighting, and this is a really cool chance for Nintendo to try a new thing. The captors are sappers, these carriers of electricity that can power up and overcharge things. It shoots an arched projectile which can be aimed and used against enemies or switches. This was a mechanic in my Minecraft Mario map with a bow. I missed that project. I really want it back. On that note, please DM me on Twitter if you know how to bypass setup app in a blocked old iPod 5. I need guidance. The outfit is going to be Mech Mario, or a tank suit. Like, the tank suit is this thing, but I just think Mario in a mech suit would be really funny. Like, look at it, beep boop, boom! The citizens would be the flip-siders from Paper Soup, you know, the guys in that game's up. Yeah, they're cool. And the boss is going to be the missing Koopa Link, Lemmy, who gets a bazooka that shoots rubber balls, which means Mario must avoid Lemmy's balls while capturing a sapper to sap him. Lemmy will probably be fast but move on a pattern, so the player should try to read it and stomp on him while he is vulnerable. I'd imagine the balls would sometimes get special effects as the game went on. Jester hat. Lemmy has a jester hat. As Mario approaches Bowser Jr.'s date location, he arrives at a boat launching pad, realizing the date is occurring in the sky! Rebello! This boat launching pad, Rebello, is its own kingdom. Mario must get a special engine here that would let him fly up to the date's location overhead. This place is red and blue like those flippy pads you might be familiar with, except now the whole kingdom is about this mechanic. It's a few puzzles based on it, and more importantly, a boss. The capture would be pipers, these frog pipe things that let you switch the red and blue thingy around, so they're super important for the puzzle. The outfit will be minimalistic PJs. It's PJs that are simple. The boss is going to be Madame Brutal again. She has 2 chumps now, one red and one blue. Capturing either will activate the structures of the respective color. You want to lure her and capture her chumps near the right position, so you can have her fall into a hole when you deactivate the opposite color. She also will slam the entire arena with the chumps, so be careful not to fall into your own traps. And then, after installing the booster, Mario will finally visit the final location. Bowser's Armada Fleet. I don't really know how to call this one. I put Bowserade in the script, but that's like, what, is it a lemonade or something? This massive collection of ships commanded by Bowser and Bowser Jr. is the final location of the game. Floating in the sky, Mario can easily fall to his death. It's kinda like that one level from Sonic Heroes and Feeling, but the aesthetic should be a combination between Bowser aesthetics and all of these different monuments from around the world. But of course Marioized. This is a fake town made to create the perfect honeymoon, including places such as Peach's Castle, Toast Arena's Pyramid, Luigi's Mansion, and towers nodding to the new Soup games. This kingdom would include enemies, captures, and mechanics in throughout the game, making for a perfect playground to put mechanics from all of Mario Odyssey all in the same place. Here, Mario will come face to face with Bowser Jr. on his clown cart as the final mid-boss, ruining Bowser's date with Peach. The captures are going to be cannonballs and, hopefully, Waka. I just want the Waka back, okay? These cannonballs will function as a transport method between the ships for Mario, allowing him to reach hidden platforms and proceed through the level. Okay, stop. Post-recording Nate here. Turns out it's stupid for Bowser to be shooting at his own ships, so I'll make this capture a firework pellet instead. How did I miss this? The outfit is going to be a steampunk outfit. This seems to be a really popular aesthetic for potential Mario Odyssey 2 outfits, so might as well put it in the level with all the wooden flying boats. The citizens would be moles, cause not all moles are trying to hurt Mario. Instead, they frantically move through the kingdom keeping the massive project afloat, even if it's not at all well put together. Finally, the boss. After interrupting the date, Peach attempts to flee only to be captured by a giant robot, the Koopaling Mech. This final boss will have Mario climb the giant robot into different rooms containing the Koopalings. As you beat up the robot, different attacks stop working against you, so the player has a choice of which Koopaling to defeat first based on whichever one is the most problematic to them. Good players should be able to climb up all the way and defeat the most bothersome of the Koopaling first, but assessing the robot's strengths and attacks to remove the Koopalings carefully should give the player an advantage as well. The robot might drop bombs on Mario, attempt to shake him, and even prevent Mario from capturing enemies by dispensing random hats from throughout the game. Once all the Koopalings are defeated, Peach and Mario will climb up a giant Eiffel Tower building that the Koopaling Mech will knock over after the boss, which allows the player to reach Mario's ship and escape before the entire fleet falls into the sea. This segment will have Peach use Tiara to capture enemies herself on the side, allowing Mario and Peach to escape together. Here, I'd love a scene where Peach captures Mario and just pulls off some nasty movement up a tall wall, which would make for a really funny sequence, even if the player did lose control there for a minute. Arriving at Mario's ship, Mario, Peach and Bowser, hanging from the ledge of the ship, all escape to safety, ending this game on Peach giving Mario a little kiss on the nose as always. And that should be all the kingdoms I'll make heavy art of. I think it makes for a really good set of locales for Mario to visit on a potential sequel, though I'd personally add a new unique mechanic if I really wanted to design Mario Odyssey 2. The point here is to come up with the cool places and the mechanics attached to them rather than designing a whole sequel. That said, did Mario Odyssey have several endgame kingdoms? So let me tell you my ideas for these, even if I won't make as much art for them. First off, Delfino. I think this kingdom would be crazy if it was the entirety of Delfino Island recreated. I love Delfino Island, but remaking it again from scratch would be a really tall order. So this leaves us with two options. The first is to remake only a bit of the map, such as Delfino Plaza, Corona Mountain, Rico Harbor, and Bianco Hills. The second option, which I prefer, would be to create a new expanded edition of Delfino Plaza that would totally feel strange and cut on the nostalgic feeling, but it will allow for some cool reimagining of this iconic location, thing they already did with the Mushroom Kingdom in Mario Odyssey, so. This location was planned for the original Mario Odyssey during development, so bringing it back now would more than fit. You're looking at this amazing recreation of Delfino Plaza by Vincent Mabush in this footage, because it just slaps and I hope I said that name right. The captor would be Flood, like Flood, you know this guy? I suggested the Sunshine Completion outfit in the original recording, but now I have puzzle clarity and realized they already did that, and you know what? I'ma just let the mistake be and write it out. Subscribe for properly researched content, everybody! The citizens would be Piantas and Nokis, they are already there in Mario Sunshine, and the boss would be Shadow Mario, or just Bowser Jr. I guess. This one would be reminiscent of the Shadow Mario fights from Mario Sunshine, except this time Mario should be able to throw fruit at it to hurt it, since, you might lose the capture until you find it again. Next off, the Asteroid Observatory. This is a base of Bowser deserters, led by a Shell Guy commander, yes I'm going there. The Brutals are here, afraid of Bowser and their failure, except for Madame Brutal, who is still working with Bowser but keeping the rest of the Brutals safe by telling them info. But fret not, I don't mean these shy girls here, I mean just like a shy guy with a ponytail and a little bit taller and that's it. The sky is green and pink. Rosalina is here with the Lumas. This is not the Comet Observatory, just inspired by it. It's supposed to be like what Darker Side is in Odyssey. Wouldn't have many missions, but it should include the boss rush against all of the Koopalings and the harder Koopa Mech fight that doesn't allow you to remove elements from the fight. The outfit would be a Red Star Mario outfit with wings and a pointy hat like Jotaro, or a Rosalina outfit. Alternatively, Nebulous Mario made of stardust? The citizens? Lumas. Finally, Bowser's Abandoned Dark World. What's implied to be Bowser's Dark World from Mario 64 but abandoned after the events of Mario 64. It's the darkest side of the moon for this game. It's meant to be a tough challenge while also nodding to the final level of Mario 64. I think this level would have potential to be more than a recreation though, expanding some of the things from it, then adding a bunch of new mechanics that would be sick. I also like the idea of Mario finally doing a final challenge that allows the player to recover if they fall instead of just ending the player. Just a light version of getting over it, but with Mario mechanics. The outfit? A Platinum Mario suit to commemorate your achievement. If not, what about a 64 era render suit? And that's all the levels I'm gonna come up with. I'm a terrible artist. Why did I choose to make this video? I mean, I'm pretty sure my cubes with wrong perspective count is at the triple digits between all the art I made for this video. Ultimately, the style of Mario Odyssey is just a really cool vehicle for coming up with different world designs. Give it a shot! Please, put a comment telling me your ideas for a Mario Odyssey Kingdom, or even send me out on Twitter. I would really like to see all these other kingdoms. I even asked an AI to come up with some of them, and here you can see the log if you want to pause and read it, but it's just a little bit of a fun thing, and it's not meant to be too serious. Either way, that's it. Thanks for watching. I got nothing else to say. Goodbye. Okay, I do have something left to say, and it is very important. Very important.